That took a little while to open for some reason. I think you got, a lot of the kind of models pretty much in there, but a lot of the proportions are off and you've missed a lot of the bevels. So let's take a look at that. Like, look at how far the feet extend beyond the edges of the leg, and then look at, look at all that space there, or, you can see it in some of these different views here. So the thing is, if you scale it now, what it does is it, see how it kind of messes up the shape of the bevel? So instead of scaling, what I prefer to do is right mouse click, go to vertex, and then select all these vertices and then move them forward. And then that way it maintains the shape of the bevel, whereas the scaling would distort that. I think for this I was using like a pipe instead of a cylinder. The pipe primitive, create polygon primitives pipe, right here. These are looking really elongated. Do you have those in a group? Oh, I see, not exactly. So I would scale those maybe more like that. Something like that. And then this edge should be beveled, Control B, and then adjust the fraction. Whoops. Segments. This looks like the bevel got messed up somehow, because it looks like you have two of them, which I think is what the problem is. Because see how it has this, like, all these little edges there, and so it has this kind of really faceted look there. So I'm going to get rid of those. If I go in the attribute editor, this sometimes works, but doesn't always work. And I click here, hit select, and then delete. And then I'll just probably adjust this bevel, maybe increase the divisions there, the segments. That looks alright. So right, this should be beveled as well. The placement of these dots could be a lot better. See how uneven they are, and that one's actually extending over the edge. When you bevel this, I would bevel, I'm just going to isolate it to make it easier to pick stuff. That's this button right here to isolate select. And I'm only going to pick the edges that define corners. So I'm not going to pick any of the inside edges, otherwise I'll get too many. And so, like, for example, like, actually no, that one's okay. Yeah. So, and this and that, this and that. How's that? I think that's right. Okay, Control B for bevel, and then again adjust the fraction and segments. Okay, and yeah, and then you can just move those around. I would scale these up. I think those are too small. Maybe something like that. This seems like it's a little low, and also you'll want to bevel just in the same fashion I just did. You'll want to bevel all the... Ooh, something went wrong with this. Yeah, it looks like you deleted off the whole back of that. So I would go through that again and bevel that. Go through building it again and then bevel the resulting edges. And then also on this guy, oh, so, okay, something went wrong with your bevel here too, because you beveled everything and not just the edges that needed. I don't know why those kind of triangle looking things are there. Let's try to remove that. Select, delete. I'm just going to isolate select so I can see. Oh, you beveled, you extruded in the top as well. I would not have done that. It looks like you sort of extruded all the faces instead of just the front ones. And that's why it's doing that weird kind of triangle thing. So you didn't need to extrude all that stuff that we don't see. But then again, I would go through and select the edges that are defining a corner and bevel those all at once. Yeah, and I think these eyes could be bigger. Maybe, something more like that. Maybe moved up a little bit, etc. And yeah, these, I think the shoulder things should be bigger than than the arm segments. Just double clicked on the move tool to get into object mode so I can move that a little easier. So yeah, or you could scale the arm segments down. But, look at your reference. And I think this goes too low. I think you can maybe move this up here. And again, this should be a pipe. I mentioned that before. Okay, so yeah, a lot of little things to fix, but most of the basic stuff is in there.